Now that we're all set as far as bedrolls are concerned, and because we haven't yet heard from the trader, Quonset to Mystery Lake to Milton to Forlorn Muskeg. That is our planned route. And I'm just going to hunch into this little corner right here and melt some snow for some water, because that's going to be a problem sooner than later. So let's get that started while I say, hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of the Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. We are in the crumbling highway.
Come on.
And we are headed, as I said, to Quonset first and foremost. We're going to do some cooking and some reading because I'm carrying a ridiculous, truly ridiculous number of skill books. And I need to address that by reading some of them and leaving them behind. So I do have some stuff that I can cook here. The nice thing about this fire spot is that there is another wolf hanging around here somewhere. That's the one that I killed when I first got here before I searched Desolation Point. So that carcass is still there. That just goes to show how quickly we got that done. Let's go ahead and add some fuel to this fire. I don't want to add too much, but we also don't need this to last too long. We're pretty hungry too. That's kind of an issue. I might just do some... Yeah, I think when I'm going to chow down on some cattails just to tide myself over. Try not to accidentally eat anything else because we are sorted by weight right now.
Dusk, so that can't be far behind.
And that is one aspect, if I were to nitpick about the Long Dark, as I believe I already have at one point in this series, that is one aspect of this interface that can be
I'm not going to be able to carry
somewhat frustrating. Been that way for a long time. If you eat things too quickly, like double click, double click, double click, double click, the situation with that is that something might move underneath your cursor without the UI actually refreshing and letting you know that you're clicking something else. And so all of a sudden you'll start,
just about anything right now.
For example, drinking maple syrup. So we are headed to Mystery Lake after we go to the Quonset and get that reading done. After Mystery Lake, it'll be Milton. And then after Milton, it'll be the Forlorn Muskeg. And that is where we'll most likely make our tools. The reason we weren't able to make them in Desolation Point, let's remember we first went to Desolation Point for our bedroll, not for anything else. And then along the way, I was like, oh yeah, we can get tools too. And then I didn't realize till I was there, oh wait, I don't have a heavy hammer, can't make tools, which does sort of point out one of the interesting things about this run so far. The heavy hammer is utterly missing. Like, it's not anywhere to be found. We haven't found one, despite searching a fair number of places where you would normally expect to find at least one. So that's pretty wild. All right, this is going to be done in just 13 minutes. I'm going to just pass some time. Let's go ahead and drink that. So that's a good, if you're newer to the Long Dark, notice the amount of thirst that a single recycled can of water just replenished. That's 3/4 of the meter. Not bad, right? We're going to stay here a little while longer while this fire burns. I don't think I'm going to add anything to it, and then we're just going to head down the road. The good thing is that it's a clear night. The weather seems pretty nice. Now that I've said that out loud, it's going to change, because that's what happens when we say things out loud. I would read if I had longer periods of time to spend reading. I might, maybe, be able... Tell you what. Let's craft some bandages. Yeah. Do some crafting to pass the time. Alright, and now we can continue to do that, honestly. We could do Old Man's Beard wound dressings. This will take 30 minutes. But I've got 30 minutes, so let's do it. Okay, let's go ahead and drink that. So our thirst will be completely quenched. Fire has 56 minutes left on it and 27 minutes until it's boiled, and then we can just get out of here. Now we can prepare some burdock, and that'll take another 30 minutes. Let's do one at a time. It seems like the other wolf is not patrolling this direction, otherwise I think we would have found out by now. So that's good. Alright, fire has enough time, so I'm going to go ahead and just do all of this. Let's prepare one more burdock, because chances are I might even have to eat that. Oh boy. That's not what I wanted to hear. Well, life just got more interesting. Let's go ahead and grab this water, drink what we can of it, so that our thirst is quenched. And here's what we'll do. Tell you what, just for the warmth. Oh, you know what? I really shouldn't have done that. Oh, man. All right. We've got a thermos full, an insulated flask full of coffee. I could warm up some coffees really quickly before I go anywhere, just to ensure that I make it as far as I need to make it. Okay. Dropped too many of them there, but that's okay. So we have an Aurora. That cup of coffee landed in a weird spot, but they're still being... I love this game. I love it so much. Look at these sideways cups of coffee. Everything's fine. Everything's normal. They're just warming, same as the rest of them. Give them another few minutes. We have enough time on this fire. And the nice thing is this time that's passing is allowing the thirst meter to empty out enough. So that's handy. Let's reload this one round while we wait. Okay. There's 1, 2, 3. They should all be... Yeah. We're good. So let's load you back up. We're going to take the cold cups out. Not put the cold ones in. There we go. And now we still have the ability to take a torch. And before I go anywhere, let's go ahead and do what I should have done first. I was just getting them all in here as soon as possible. For the sake of the warmth, let's drink this. A little bit of caloric value as well. And we have a nice torch. All right, I'm going to back off and hopefully not run into a wolf. One of our regular commenters asked if I've ever been out on the ice in the Crumbling Highway. And the answer to that question is yes, but not very often. So I actually don't know very well what's out there and if there's anything worth checking out. Because we have an Aurora at the moment, I'm not going to worry about that. But it's a good question, because usually when I come through the Crumbling Highway, it's earlier in a run. I'm on the way to Desolation Point, looking for a bedroll or going to make tools, and I'm feeling fairly vulnerable. Might not even have a gun yet, depending on where I spawned, right? And as a consequence, I don't actually go out onto the ice because that tends to be where the wolves are. And I tend to hug this wall that you're seeing me hug right now, because it makes it a little bit easier to get in and out without attracting any unwanted attention. I do see what looks like some beachcombing opportunities out there, and I don't at the moment see any wolves, but that could change very quickly. There's a wolf right there. Right there, 2 wolves. They're both out on the ice, just hanging out. So that's what I'm talking about. I'd prefer not to provoke their ire. Let's keep things moving this direction, and hopefully not encounter any wolves that are closer that I just haven't noticed. But yeah, there is some stuff out there. Whether or not there are any major loot possibilities, who knows? Because that's another thing. I think I can say categorically, I have not been out there since the loot refresh. So I literally don't know. And nor does any other player who hasn't been out there, even if they played the Long Dark for 10 years, since the loot refresh. But feel free to share thoughts in the comments if there are any sort of notes on like bigger things that you found out there. I don't mind you sharing that kind of stuff, because people who don't want to know just don't read the comments too thoroughly for this episode. Be careful what you look at. But I think it's good to crowdsource that knowledge when possible. Alright, I might have waited too long to do that. Stand up. And threw that too far as well. Yeah, waited too long. Damn. Oh well. Well, thankfully, it's honestly not that cold of a night, so this is kind of preferable, because what I'm going to do is just walk with this rifle out. I'm pretty encumbered on account of all the books that I'm carrying. Did I grab my frickin'... Hold on. Please tell me I didn't do it. I think I just did. Again. Okay, I've got it. I was scrolling farther and farther down that list like, no, God, no, please no. So, for those of you who were watching the Season 0 runs, one of the weird artifacts of that series, and the fact that I was feeling safer in general by playing on a lower difficulty, one of the things that happened a lot, in a way that's never happened in the history of Against All Odds, is I left my cooking pot
I can barely
everywhere. Sorry, I needed to wait for that load screen. Everywhere. I left it literally everywhere. Every time I had an opportunity to leave my cooking pot somewhere that I didn't need it, because let's be honest, where I need it is on my person, I would leave it. Let me tell you, it was an experience. Oh, I've left it again. Okay, where'd I leave it this time? Let's have a think. Okay. So, there's one other location I need to check here. Somebody pointed out in the comments, and I do appreciate this reminder, as much as we discourage backseating around here. I do appreciate this reminder because it's something that is newer to the zone, and it's also higher up in the zone, which is like my kryptonite, I guess, because when you have something that is higher up in this zone, you're already in an area that I'm less familiar with, as I discussed earlier in the series. But also, this zone has been around for so long that I kind of feel like I know everything about it, which is, you know, not necessarily the best perspective to have, because you overlook stuff, like the fact that there's now a plane crash. And I can't remember if the plane crash is up here, or if it's closer to the Quonset, but I'm just going to check these various locations. Because I know that somewhere up one of these slopes, there's a crashed plane, and I don't think it's here. Remember, we still haven't been to the forestry lookout here either. And let me tell you something, if I go to the forestry lookout in this episode, if I go to that lookout, okay, I can't climb this, and there's a heavy hammer in that lookout, I'm going to lose my mind. Without question. But yeah, it's a weird combination, because I do know this zone quite well. We've explored it a lot, but there's a newer addition to the zone, which is the plane crash. So not only, as you can tell, I don't quite know where it is. I think it's more over the Quonset area. But because there's this feeling of, oh, I know Coastal Highway, I know all the places I need to check. You just forget. You just forget. I don't know who can relate. I imagine most of the more seasoned players in the community can relate to a degree. It does always change things slightly when you're recording content or streaming. Like, I had some people comment on the first episode, I think, of this series, like, oh my god, tunnel vision, man, you missed this stuff. And it's like, yeah, I'm commenting and playing at the same time. What do you want from me? I'm splitting my attention between trying to keep the viewing experience interesting for people who are specifically here to watch my content. And this is, I'm not just talking about me, this is any streamer or content creator. Streamer brain is a real thing. Some people are better at managing it than others. I can be better depending on circumstances, depending on the day, how well I've slept, etc. Okay, I need to be careful here. Yeah, let me just hop down this. This kind of feels like a death wall, and if it is, I hate it. I mean, it's not, but It's a weird slope. But yeah, streamer brain is absolutely a thing. No matter how experienced you are at the long dark, it's easy to forget stuff because of all the things that have changed. But then if you're also a content creator and you're actively interacting with the community, whether you're streaming or if you're just commentating while playing, there's always that possibility. That's just something that can happen, period. Okay, I don't know if that's the wisest course of action. I think I'm going to drink another coffee while I'm thinking about it. Bit of extra warmth there. It's still, as far as clear nights go, it's very warm tonight, which is nice. I will take it. So obviously, by taking the high road here, I'm fulfilling a couple of... Well, really, I'm doing 3 different things. I'm staying away from the wolves that are lower level. I'm looking for the plane, but I'm also just refamiliarizing myself with the higher spots, which I suppose is another aspect of the kryptonite that I was joking about when it comes to this zone. Because anything up higher is in an area that I'm like less familiar with it. So yeah, I'm going to double check. Every time I find a slope like this, where I can look back towards the right side of the slope, I'm going to check. Now, it's not here. I know that it's like a steeper slope. It resembles that first spot that I checked a moment ago a lot more. I think it's honestly like up above the burned out house above the Quonset. I think that's where the crash is. I'm almost positive. I've been there enough that I think that's where it is. But I haven't been there enough times to just assume that I know where it is. Especially while recording. This is how my brain works. Beautiful night. Alright, let's go ahead and get on flat ground here, so as not to risk sprains. Game, there we go. It's taking a second to make that indicator go away. Okay, we are on a steep slope here, so we're probably going to sprain on our way down to the street here. Hopefully not, but... Yep. Yep. Saw that coming. Glad I made those bandages. And I can make more. Not sure where the wolves are at the moment. Probably over at the Quonset. Okay, so the plane crash is on the other side of those rocks. Right there. Because I know it's not further down that way. I'm certain. So we're going to keep walking. Might see a wolf over here to the left. So the wolf detection radius is the same. Oh man, that reminds me. I still need to make that video going over the more detailed aspects of the difficulty code. I will do that this week. I'm going to make that commitment to you right now. I'm going to make that video this week. So the wolf detection radius is normal. However, the wolves are capable of spawning closer when I leave an interior zone relative to where they would spawn on normal, like vanilla difficulty settings, even in Interloper. So that's one way that this is a bit of a spicier playthrough. But as long as I can keep my distance from them, then all I have to do is the normal kind of dance. Quite a slow walk, given the number of training manuals I'm carrying. If we find a moose once we have tools, I will be dropping that as soon as possible, because I need a satchel. At some point later in the series, we'll be going to... Words, Adrian. We'll be going to Ash Canyon as well. So, eventually it'll be easier to lug this much stuff around without being disencumbered and not being able to run or anything like that. But for now... So I need to get up there. Actually, I might be able to use this slope. Let's try it. Might sprain. But I think I can make it up right here. Maybe? Really? Really? That looks traversable. But it's not. Oh, that's wild. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I don't have crampons. I shouldn't act like I'm surprised. I am going to check for this plane before we go to the Quonset because, well, I don't know. There's an argument to be made for maybe going to the Quonset first. But part of me is thinking if I check the plane first, who knows, the Aurora might stop. The Aurora doesn't necessarily last for hours or all night. Sometimes they come and go quite quickly. Another thing that I could do if this Aurora were to last longer is I could go down to the mine. But that would also be something of a risk right now because this Aurora has been going for a while. And by the time I got to the mine, it could be almost over. Who knows? There's always a risk going down into that mine, especially when you don't have a ton of food. Okay, so there's the burned out house. Oh, that's actually in a different spot than I thought it was. The slope that I was trying to climb a moment ago, I thought it was this slope. Alright, so there might be a predator up here. Are you for real right now? I realize I'm walking on a bunch of slopes, but like, this seems unusually punishing. Now I'm out of bandages. Incredibly rude. Okay, the plane crashes up here. I'm going to go ahead and consume another bit of coffee because I need the calories. Oh, it's cold. Are you... That was fast. It wasn't that long ago. That seems... Hold on. Is it me? Or did that happen way too quickly? It wasn't that long ago that I made that. And I haven't passed any time. Yeah, here's the plane crash. That's... Okay, well, it is what it is. Coffee's cold. And it's not that cold at night yet. Despite the fact that we have an Aurora and it's perfectly clear. So that's nice. Alright, so with any luck, we might find something useful here, and then we can pretty much beeline straight down to the Quonset. The nice thing about taking this path is that our approach to the Quonset will be from the high ground, so we can hopefully spot for wolves as we come down. I'm going to try and stay on low sprain terrain here. Alright, so there's a backpack. We'll check that. There's the plane and a few other containers. Nothing in the backpack. Wasn't really expecting anything, but let's see what else we've got. A couple of suitcases. Wow. Alright, that's a wrist sprain. Ragged light shell. Good for some cloth. I'll probably just make some bandages from that, to be honest. Decent t-shirt. Also bandages from that.
I need to find some place to escape.
Nice! An aviator cap. Oh, I didn't mean to get out. I just meant to light this so that I could check. All right, let's check this hatch. Nothing in the hatches. Okay, that's disappointing. All right, I see a flare, which is nice. Nothing else back here. Let's get in the front. Wait, I'm pretty sure that's the back again. It is. Marine flare. And yeah, nothing else. Okay. I will use this lantern to just double check the area, make sure that I haven't overlooked any other suitcases. Got the backpack, the 2 suitcases. Yep, we are done. That's it. Unless there's something... No, that's all that can be searched. There's the 2 suitcases, nothing else over here. Let's put this away. Oh, I have a sprained wrist. That's going to be a problem. So I need to go ahead and rip this up. It's going to take 10 minutes. We're going to get cold, which means we are now finally losing condition. I'm not sure I deserve that. And yeah, we are going to have to eat some of this burdock root. Kind of saw that coming. Okay, and now of course we need to make some bandages, which will also take more time than I would like to take.
I've never been so hungry in my life.
You will be fine. The funny thing is, that wrist sprain won't slow me down, per se. But it will prevent me from holding a rifle. So if an Aurora wolf or an Aurora bear were to decide that it wanted a piece of me right now, I would be in trouble. All right, I'm going to try and stay on this slope and get all the way back, all the way back down to the Quonset with no difficulty. Fingers crossed. So I've lost enough health. Frankly, I'm a little bit... The more health I lose, the more irked I get that coffee got cold so quickly. That was a full insulated flask, not thermos. A full insulated flask of hot coffee. I'm gonna check this. What is making that noise? I guess just... I assume that's the power lines inside the house that are broken and humming. Because it's a burned out house. So I imagine there's just like electrical energy coming from that. It'd be cool if you would occasionally see burned out houses like sparking for that reason. If you're going to give them that hum, that'd be an interesting addition. Okay, let's get inside if we can, while not pissing off any wolves. This is not so much the high ground approach that I anticipated being able to take, but it's still high enough. I can still see. So we're going to try and scan left. Looks safe. Right looks safe, although that rock is something of a problem. Is that a backpack? No, those are just buoy ropes. What's the technical term for those? I actually don't know off the top of my head, but like those ropes, I just call them buoy ropes, but like what are they actually called? That's not a good sign. fact that the soundtrack just cut off. All right, hold on. I need to eat something. And I hate it because it means I pretty much have to eat my other burdock root. I have stuff that I can cook as soon as I'm back inside. But that negates the utility of the burdock root beyond just the caloric value. Almost back, though. And then porridge will sustain us for a while. Although I don't know how much wood there is. Generally speaking, in the Quonset. I can't remember how much I left behind the first time. I think there's some. Okay, moment of truth. I haven't seen any wolves, which means they're either not close or they've been hiding behind the buildings. There's one right there. Alright, we're close enough. We're good. We are good. Okay, inside we go.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
So we may, of course, hear the trader here. That could happen. All right, old milk flour, cooking oil. Now, is there any firewood here at all? I mean, I have some coal. So, I mean, I've got some stuff that I can use for a starter fire. But I guess there's no firewood. Because I normally either leave it on the ground or have it in a drawer. So, yeah, okay, that's annoying. I'll have to break up some stuff. Yeah, that's fine. That'll work. Let me go ahead and get this going. No choice. Let's see. Start the fire. I'm going to do as much of this cooking here at the end of the episode as I can, so that we're not doing a bunch at the beginning of the next one. But our objective after this, again, is to pretty much head straight up to the top of the zone. We do need to check the forestry lookout.
That's a good one.
Okay, that's good enough. Now, you recall, I don't yet, I believe, have a skillet. Unfortunately. So there are certain things like bannock that I just can't make at the moment. Although, cooking slot, place. Nice. Okay. So if somebody pointed this out to me and I didn't realize it, but you can make bannock just on the cooking surface itself. It just takes longer, which is amazing. I didn't know that, but if you select no tool, that's not a non-option. It is an option, that's why it's on the list. It's just interesting that I didn't catch that. All right, so 37 minutes till ready. So what I need to do with this is just start reading and cross my fingers that these don't burn too quickly, which they won't, let's be honest. All right, let's go for the cooking skill, because this one's already been partially read.
Man, I could eat anything.
Oh, they did burn that. What? Everything burned? How fast does stuff... Hold on a second. Hold on a second. That functions really differently. Oh my god. So if that were meat, I just feel like it would have lasted longer on the fire. So now I'm in trouble because, well, I can drink something. It'll be fine. But that is really frustrating. What the heck? Normally, stuff would sit on the fire for like 30 minutes. What the entire heck just happened? So, I don't know what to make of that. I really don't. Okay, well, let's drink some coffee for the caloric value. And we're just going to hope. So, yeah, reading is going to be a little bit... that's not going to work in the same way that I thought it would. So let's see. Let's find out right now. It's going to take 31 minutes till this is ready. Wow, only 20 minutes. Oh, crap. All right, let's eat one. And we still have the other one, of course. The porridge is cooked. That's wild. Okay. Well, so noted. All that stuff had just burned, interestingly enough. So it wasn't like it was... I need to make more of these. It wasn't like it, had been burned for half an hour. It burned, seconds or minutes before I went to grab it, as soon as I finished the reading. But that's annoying. Okay. Live and learn. I do still have to break stuff down, too. But now that I know... yeah, this just made things complicated. 8 minutes, 32 minutes. I'm just going to get rid of all these sticks. No sense holding on to them. We can grab more. There's plenty laying around. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do the reading and cooking that I thought I'd be able to. I'm just not. It's not an option. Which is wild. I mean, it makes sense, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't align with my expectations based on the other... Well, you know, it actually kind of does make sense, but the cook times for these items is generally shorter than the cook times for, full slabs of meat. And so also the burn times for full slabs of meat are longer. And I think that's the difference. All right, that's the second time that's happened within, 120 seconds of gameplay. I need to be very mindful of that. I'm looking at them like they're not cooked yet, and they are cooked. They're about to burn. Yeah, so this porridge, for example, is cooked. Yeah, see, can't eat those. Not yet. Let's go ahead and put that coal in the fire, too. One hour, 37 minutes. Let's go ahead and eat this porridge. We don't have a ton of oats. Yeah, we can only make 3 more. And remember, every time I'm eating one of these bannocks, I'm just eating one of the 2. So there's a bannock going back into my inventory every time. That's the nice thing about cooking bannocks. Okay, so no more of those. Oh, actually, that's because we're out of water. Makes more sense. I feel like we went through that bag of flour pretty quickly. Okay, so this is good for our cooking skill. We did get cooking 3 just a moment ago, which is handy. Need to make a little bit more water before we do anything else. I'm kind of tempted, now that the sun is back up, I'm kind of tempted to go break down some stuff. I will need to add... What can I add to this fire? I may just need to step outside and grab some sticks. Might be the best approach, but hang on. Let's see how long some of these would take to break down. I only have a pry bar, so I might not even be able to break this stuff down. Hour, 30 minutes. Yeah. Not happening. Not happening. I've got nothing in here. And we also noticed that we didn't hear from the trader at all during that entire Aurora. So let me just step outside and see if I can grab some additional... Nice, those saplings are almost cured.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Nope, probably not. Right, I'm going to wander out this way and just grab a few sticks and see if I can come right back without alerting any friendly woodland creatures lurking nearby, meant to say. Looks like it's getting a little bit foggier, maybe. Steak. Oh, there's a branch. Not going to worry about the branch. Thought I heard some footsteps behind me. Yeah, it's 3 sticks, but like 10 minutes is time I don't necessarily have. And I don't need the fire to be going for that much longer, so let's go ahead and put this on the fire, and then I'll step back inside if I need to. Or back outside. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Actually, we still have a plant. Ah, that bug is still present. Look at that. I thought they fixed that. The sticks are still... Like, the count is still overlapping with the rest of the UI. All right, we've got an hour and 7 minutes. We have way too much reading to do. It's absurd. I'm going to create a save point, which I could have also done just by toggling the safe house customization system. Like so. See, there's my save point. But we'll go ahead and stop this one here. There, I've recreated the save at the entry point. So we'll stop this one here, finish some cooking at the beginning of the next episode. We don't have as much to do. And what I want to try to do, if I can, it would be nice to wait these saplings out. Only 5%, that's like less than a day. So if I were to hang out in the Quonset area at the beginning of the next episode, maybe see if I can find any other loot in the area. I kind of doubt it, but at the very least, finish this cooking and then head up to the forestry lookout, then head to Mystery Lake. That's the kind of next objective, and hopefully we'll find a heavy hammer there before long. I have some other things that I can do to shed some pounds while I'm here. So probably going to do that either now or before we leave this zone. And then it's just a matter of getting, again, to Milton and to Forlorn Muskeg so that we can actually be fully equipped and then can go anywhere in the world that we want. And by that point, the cougar probably would have arrived as well, so that's going to make things interesting on top of that. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes will be arriving at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Thank you, Jennifer, every other day, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.